November 2025, and like a miserable day, but hopefully everybody's at home and they're warm and they're safe, and that's all that matters. So today, tile number 597. Yeah, 597. What do I have? I've inked a tile. So how have I done this? I've used grey and red, and I've put stripes. So straight red in the middle there and grey either side. And then I've inked, spritzed it with lots of water. See how it's run? And then a little bit of salt sort of on the edges, and completely let it dry, and this is what I've ended up with. So quite a nice little background there. And to make a start with then, I'm going to come in with pencil, and let's see where we go from here. Okay, here we are. Pencil to hand, and I want to put myself, I want to sort of have a little bit of a guide. So I'm going to put a bit of a vertical in, down that middle stripe there. You see it? Do this lightly because you don't really need to have a heavy kind of feature here. So I'm going to put a little mark there and a little mark there. If you bear with me a second, because I'm going to put another one there as well, and a little one. Let's have a closer look at that. So here we go. So this is the edge. So that's about, I don't know, just over a centimetre in there. And then coming down here, this is sort of my halfway. So it's a little bit further up. I'll split it a bit. It'll make sense in a little while. Oh, okay. First things first then. I want to have a little bit of a kind of a straight shape there. If we can. Slight curve up there. And then coming around, it's going to see like a bit of kind of an oval shape, flatter sides there, like so. Right, maybe I'm going to go out a little bit. Imagine like a vase, a little pot there. And your rubber, just going to get rid of the lines I don't need anymore. So, a bit of a curved base, like so. Let's bring that round and along. So we've got that kind of a shape going off. All right, let's get rid of the bits I don't want again. See, it's easier to shape it when you've got something on the paper rather than trying to do it perfect first time. So don't panic over that one. And then we've got this gap here. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to leave a little gap, and coming round, creating like a little shape there. I'm going to zoom in a minute so you can see what I'm doing. There you go. Okay, see, so again, I'm kind of making little amendments as I go, just so I'm happy with what I've got there. So it's not quite touching. Got a little gap in between. Okay. Oh, look at that. So then we've got this little bit at the top here. I'm going to put a little bump there. And I'm going to come sort of up. Create like a little M shape. So I didn't go quite as wide as that guide, but that's okay. It was just a guide. All right. Okay, so let's have a look then. I'm going to put a couple, just a little part curves there. And that starts it off. And looking at this middle bit, see, I've got my centre section here. I want to put myself a little V in here. One there, look. Oh, and one there. And then we're going to extend that out a little bit and bring it back in. It's sort of in that shape. Okay. There we go. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to come and put this in pen. But once you're happy with your shape, you've got to kind of commit to it. See, I might just flatten that a little bit there. So let's draw this in. And up and sort of along there. And a little bit of a bump there. So I'm going to make that a little bit smaller, being that I've drop that a bit. Along. And down. So see that Chris very kindly put a bit of a countdown on for the Advent tiles. That's going to be starting on the 1st of December. So if you've never seen one of them before and you think, what on earth is this all about? Go and have a look on YouTube. There are all the past Advent tiles we've done. Last year we didn't do one at Christmas, did we? We did an October one, hence the raven. But we do a tiny little square of something each day for 24 days. Up until, so obviously Christmas Eve's the last one. So hopefully we create some kind of a picture that we all like the look of. So it's already drawn. Been working on that today. So I'm good to go. So whether you want to work in tiny tiles, which are 5 centimetres square, or whether you want to work on a piece of paper and create your own grid, that's fine. I'm just thickening them up a bit. Okay. So I'm going back to pencil for a moment and just sort of off the section here. I'm going to put myself a little bit of a curve. Sort of looking at the same position there, another little curve. So then I'm going to come down here. This is sort of like, I'm going to imagine a curve there. Just helps me to put that in. Okay, just want it there. And I can do the same there. So it's about there, look. Just helps give that end curving. All right. Another one a little bit further up. All right, artistic license this because you can have them here, but I wanted them sort of further down at the bottom. And I'm going to put some little droplet shapes in. They're there just for effect. So I know that this little guy needs them to walk around, but artistic license. There you go. And same up here, look. 3 in there as well. This looks like he's got his arms like clapping around. Of course, if you wanted to do this, you could do this longer and all sorts. It's whatever you want to do with it, really. But okay, I'm going to turn it this way because I want to put myself more shape in there. And because this is still joined, I can do this as one sort of swoop like that. And I'm going to treat each one as a separate. So I want one in the middle, one at the side, one at the side, one in the middle, one at the side, one at the side. Let's put some little flicks in. Just on each one, that lower edge. Okay. First bit. And then again, I'm going to sort of put myself a little mark so I can get it. It's kind of, it's not even, I don't want to get it exactly, but it just helps me out. So I know if I start here, it's going to be similar on that side or end there, whichever I'm going to work with. I'm going to actually do it as I'm going to end it there. So I'm going to start here in between these 2 petals and I'm going to put a curl there. So let's have a look at this one, similar thing. It's never going to be the same, so don't try and make it the same. It's just doing it this way helps with the placement of it, but if I wanted the same, I'd trace it. I'm not going to do that. So let's do another one this way. So a little curve, and then I'm going to come back on myself. Another one here, look, a little curve. Back on myself. I've got that. Okay. So in these little spaces again, like I'm going to come in 1, 2. Oh, hi Sue. I've seen Maureen and Rose on here as well. Susan. Oh, Susan, I know. I think we all like those Advent tiles. The first one I ever did, I wasn't so sure. But, you know, could I keep up with it and do one every day? I think that's the trick, isn't it? If you do it every day, it doesn't seem Doesn't seem like a massive task. And we're always going to draw something that has got a slight more challenge to it, but because we're doing a little bit each time, it really doesn't matter. If you wanted to, you could go bigger. You don't have to do 5 centimetre tiles. You could do 10, 20 if you want. You go as big as you like. Or you can, say, mark it out on a piece of paper. Although, I don't know, there's something about using tiles and then sticking them down. You get that extra little bit of 3-dimension, don't you? I think that really helps. Okay, so I'm going to come here, look, and I'm going to do another one this way. But everybody, to their own. There's no rules, there's no right or wrong. So look, I'm here at the first one. Go down and touch this one and back round. Okay. So in this little bit here, I'm going to put another curl this way. Oh, good morning from New York. Good morning. Feels weird saying that. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But that's okay. Some of you might decide that you're doing these patterns and you're doing these little pieces in the middle of the night. I don't know. Some people work differently, don't they? So each time I put something, like I'm putting it on the other side. And little dots there. You might find that yours is a bit different and you can't put these things in this place. It doesn't matter. You can do your own version of this. And I know, Maureen, you do love a challenge. Have you done every single one? I can't recall. I think what we should do is we should find out our previous advents. It doesn't matter whether it was the October one or whether it was December ones. I think we should find them and post pictures. So anybody that's never done one before can have a look and see what it is that we're talking about. How about that? That'd be great. Look at this cute little fella. So I've got a couple of little shapes there, look. And I'm going to come up here, look. Put that in there. Can I just thicken up around that a bit, look, see? Oh, Vicky. So what do we think? What do we think I'm going to be drawing for the Advent this year? Has anybody got any guesses? Any thoughts? Oh, happy birthday, Deborah. I hope you've had something nice. I hope you sat there drinking Prosecco and eating chocolate cake. Now that would be a birthday, wouldn't it? Right, each one of these, we can, different patterns, find what you want to do. But I'm going to come in, look, and do this one. So I've got one there, look. I'm going to get 2 in like that. Okay. Oh, Maureen, you need to check them out. There must be some of you that have done them all. That first one, we've done a couple that are a little bit abstract, haven't we? And then, so we did the raven last year. I think the one before that, I've posted a picture recently, haven't I? It was a clock with lots of stuff going on around it, wasn't it? Look at this. Okay. I'm just going to put a little bit thicker there as well. All right. Oh, Vicky, I can't tell you. I think it's got a bit of everything in it. And it has got, this one has got a Christmas theme this year. I am going to say that. So, okay, ready for the next bit? All right then. So ladybirds. Ladybirds represent luck. Apparently, that's what they symbolise, luck and good fortune. So never throw one out. They're quite sweet actually, aren't they? And you can get different colours. Although you don't get them with all this decoration on. I am taking an artistic... Oh, Christmas landscape. That would be nice, wouldn't it? A nice landscape. It'd be traditional, wouldn't it? It'd be the church in the background with the snow. And then, I don't know, the post box at the front. Or maybe a lamppost that's lit. Oh, so a nutcracker. That certainly is Christmassy, isn't it? anything. Could be a robin. Could be a Christmas tree. Could be a pile of crackers. Oh, see, now I've got you thinking. Oh, Josie, there's loads of different things, isn't there? Anyway, look, I'm drawing around this. I'm drawing as I'm going, look. Keeping it quite close, just following it round, not trying to go into mass of detail, but following it round. On we go. Okay. So then I'm going to pick on a couple of bits, you know, where we've got these angles, and let's come in with my pen. I'm going to fill them in, look. Oh, Susan, I'm sorry I've picked a ladybird today then. This one's quite a cute one though. It's not going to crawl off the page. And it's got lots of flowers and things in it. So, you know, you could turn it into a different shape if you wanted. You can have it an oval. Just an oval and not like a gem kind of design if you don't want to do the little legs. So, you don't have to. You can swap it about. It's nice sometimes, isn't it, to do something a little bit different. Alright, so I've got some thickness bits. I've not tried to do it completely the same, so I've not thickened that up. I have that side. So I'm going to come back round now. I'm going to follow the shape because it's now changed. Don't try and sort of do it all along. He is, Susan. He is cute. So, look. Follow my shape round. And kind of, it's a bit thin, but that's okay. You'll not notice. Now, if you want to do wobbly lines, or if you don't have a choice, then wobbly lines are the thing, then that's fine. You can do that too. This will work both ways. So my lines are not perfectly parallel to the other, but I don't really mind. Okay. So round we go, joining that again. So let's do it again. Yeah. Joe, if you want to, you don't have to put all this in. You could put some spots in or put some stripes on it. Again, do your own version. This is just an idea. This is just how we would put it together, see. Now this time, look, I'm not really trying to look for the same places. I'm going to put a little one there. Look, I've made one up, see. So we don't have to look for all the little crevices and things. We can put them where we want them. Let's put one there. Alright. So before we do anything else with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come round this edge. I'm going to put a bit of a curve on the edge there. Just come down a bit more. And along here, I'm not going to do the whole thing. Okay. And then I'm going to sort of swoop down and then pick up that shape, like so. And then join it. So I'm going to put a bit of a bump back to there. Okay. So let's have a go at doing something similar this way. So this time, look, I'm going to go to about there. I'm going to follow that shape. And then I'm going to come round and do that one. Okay. So this one. I'm not going to go as big with this one. I'm going to sort of curve those edges. A little bit of a wobble there. Back up. Okay. So let's go back again now this time. See here, look, I've got a little space. So I'm going to put a little shape in there that can fill it in. And then I'm going to follow around. So here, look, it's sort of, I can't go around that any further, so I can take this one. I'm not going to, little dot on the end, so I've not, hang on a second, there you go, look, little dot. So I've not joined it completely. So let's go around. Just like before. Working my way. here, look, I can't really go into there. So again, I'm going to put a dot on so it shows that I've finished. See? Okay. So let's kind of repeat it. But this time, because I want something a bit different, I'm going to put these shapes in. I'm going to add some little bumps. Sort of around the whole thing here, look. Let's put one there, look. See, I've ignored this for a while now, so let's leave that for a little bit longer. But this time, if I bring in some little loops with bubbles on the end, see? And let's do one coming out there, look. Maybe one sort of up here. And one there, look. I've sort of done them in pairs, so same thing there. So now this time when I draw around it, I'm going to have a completely different shape. So along we go, look, around those. Around, there's something about drawing around something, isn't there? Once you've done it, it's almost like a little bit of light relief because it's sort of done. Right, now this time, see, when I get to the bottom here, I'm going to sort of come back on myself and just sort of fill it in. You see? A little dot to finish. So that's kind of filled that bit in. So let's sort of do something similar with this one. But before I do, I'm going to come in, look, and add a few of those little bumps on. Just like I did before. You see where I've kind of stopped there? What if I came round and created a new shape? Now everybody's is going to be completely different here. I've got nowhere to sort of end it, so I'm going to keep going. Follow that shape round until I've got no more space. See, I can put a little bit of a shape in there. Finishes that bit. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. Put some bumps in there. So it's sort of fitting in with what's already there to sort of one extent. See, that's lovely, isn't it, that pattern? It's almost like a sky, isn't it? I'm trying to avoid doing all the corners if I can. Okay. So let's draw around that one. In and along. Doesn't take long, does it? So there. Okay. So I'm going to do one more of these. So again, look. Find some spaces and put some of these little shapes in. They don't have to be the same size. You can go in and neaten them up. Okay. I'm going to go around this one again, all the way around. You know, turn your piece as you're going. It doesn't have to stay put. And into there, like so. Okay, let's have a look at this one then. So again, we'll put some of those shapes in, just to fill those bits up. Let's do one there. Again, try and avoid to doing all of the corners. It's a little bit predictable, that one, so come around and do something a little bit different. Yeah. Let's do one more. Again, sort of follow that shape a little bit. It's really relaxing, this is, because once I say you've drawn the main little piece, you can come in and do your own little bits with it. So let's put another one in here, look. So again, sort of filling it in. See there, I've already got a thicker piece, so you can use it to neaten your shapes up if you need to. See what there, let's go back in. And let's go around this one. In and along. more. You could do this in a different colour if you wanted to as well, if you didn't want it to be sort of all in black. I'm going to probably add a little bit of colour to the middle anyway. Okay, so we've left this space, we've got all this going on, we've left this one because I wanted to put a bit of a 4-leaf clover in. Yeah, let's do it. So here we go. If you want to do this in pencil first, you can. Just a little bit of a shape with a little hint of a wobble. So of course, because 4-leaf clover, we need 4 petals. A little bit of a wobble. And there. Okay, let's put a couple little flicks in. That's going to help with the shaping of it. And a little stem, so you can sort of work it into there. Okay, so then let's fill in that little bit there. I'm not going to fill all of it, I think that's probably enough. And on this edge here, let's a little bit of Latin, Fortuna, just to give that little hint there. So I'm going to come in just the last bit, look, and fill this bit in around here. Again, same sort of manner. Sometimes, you know, you might want to draw something and put this around, but then you can add things as you go in and change it up a little bit. Okay, so let's bring a little bit of colour in. So what we're going to go with, now I've got red in there, so I think what I'm probably going to do is use red, but first of all a bit of yellow. So you've got a kind of a choice here. I'm going to come in and do the background bits. So if you want to colour the flowers in and on the rest of it, but I'm going to focus sort of on the background and leave the rest. There's got bits in there. So I've just said I'm going to use a red to colour in, but bringing a yellow in to start with. I know that, but that just helps that red to pop. So let's bring this light red in. Add a little bit of it into some of these areas. Just remember, I'm doing the background of it, so I'm going to just shade the flowers. It's something a little bit different, rather than you know, you have to colour it all. You could just shade it all if you wanted. It's not a problem. See, look, bringing that red in. They do say a 4-leaf clover is hard to find, Maureen. Well, I think that was just as when we were kids. It was just to give us something to do to keep us out of trouble, you think? Certainly you. I know you, Maureen. All right. A little bit of clementine, I think. But yes, I recall that happening, saying, I did look. I think I found one once, but I'm not sure if my luck or my fortune changed because of it. But, you know, all these things. It's what brings us together, doesn't it? No, I don't know. Some people believe, some people not. So this is turning out to be quite like a cherry red, isn't it? It's a real vibrant red, and that's sort of what we want. Okay, let's bring a little bit of darkness in now. I'm going to bring my claret in. Add a touch of that in places. So it just goes where, you know, you've perhaps got something overlapping something else, or sort of underneath something. There's really no rules with this, because you know, we're making our own little piece up, so it's yours to do with as you will. That light red back in. So just having that yellow in there is just giving it a little bit of like a little bit of a glow underneath, rather than using single red. It does make a difference as we go along. Okay. So we're going to do something similar in a minute, but not with the red, because of course the rest of the little piece, this is kind of, it's black, isn't it? And if we just coloured it in with black, it would suit the rest of it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, it doesn't matter what we use, whether it be blue or purple. I've got a purple, so I'm going to come in like and fill in with purple, all of that bit and all of that bit. And being that I've done that, I might as well add a little bit of purple. You know where I've just put that dark red? Put a little bit less of it. Giving it a little bit of shadow as we go around. Okay. So there's that bit. And then if I bring our black in, let's go in a little bit. And swirl it in a bit. So it's I'm doing it quite lightly. I'm going over the top of most of it, but not all. Okay, most of it, but not all. See? Let's bring that purple back in. So I'll swirl it round, look, and work it into that black. Alright, so I'm not going to do all, see I've left a little bit there, so I can come in a little bit more now and fill that in. And let's come back in with the black. Just a little bit over the top there. Okay, just going to put those little bits in. And there's little bits. Just giving it a little hint. Okay, so let's do these little shapes inside there, you know, the flowers. I'm going to come in with just the black there, just to give it a little bit of something. Then in here, just going to add a touch, because I know I'm going to shade it, but I'll put a little bit of black in there as well, okay? Let's have a look at this. All right, I think we need to do a little bit of green for the clover, so I'm going to use my sunny green. I don't want it to sort of take over from my little ladybird. Oh, there you go. So let's bring a little bit of my deep green in, sort of where I've got those little flicks. You see? So they're working in, and then bring that sunny green back in. Again, I don't want to overdo it, just give it a little bit of a swirl to help them to work together in the background there, yeah? So regular pencil. So inside here, see I've got my lines, my original grid. Let's put some pencil on those. Like that, yeah? And then along the base of those petals, like that. And then shading around the edge here, I'm going to come in across the top. Now you can choose. I'm going to go left. If you want to go right, you can do right. So sort of top and left. See, that's going to be top, isn't it, as well? Because it's top and left. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit along there, look. Underneath those was there. Okay, maybe a little bit. See, I've got like a shape there, haven't I? So let's do the same in that one. And a little, just a little bit there. Okay, so Tortillon then. Let's do these first. Soften them off. I mean, you can come in with, I'm going to do a little bit in there, look. Gel pen and all sorts if you want to with these, and add a little bit of glitter. But for now, we're just going to soften those bits off. And that one. There we go. So let's sort these bits. Again, I'm just easing it off. A little bit of pencil, swirling it round, and then easing it off. And along. Okay. Like so. To those bits. So that one, because it's not a full, it is a shape, but I'm not going to spend too much time on it. And we're going to come into these. Remember, we've got some around here and along there, so over the top of that text and in there. Not forgetting, of course, to go through our little grid. Okay, so just being that I've got a darker tile, I'm going to come in, I've got my chalky pencil here, and I'm going to bring in some of that chalk in that area, you see? So where we've got that light bit, you can do this with a regular pencil, but you've got to be careful that you need to kind of blend it a little bit with this. If I need to, I can use the Tortillon to blend it out, but because it's sitting over the top, it's not really a big problem for me. It doesn't like to sit over graphite, so just so you're aware. Just going to go over my tops of my flowers, look. And see these little bits, I put a bit of graphite in, there's a tiny little bit left where I can bring a little bit of that pencil to give it a little lightness. So the little legs and that antennae have kind of been lost in the background there, but I don't mind that because it was all about the design. Let's just bring my black in, just want a little bit more darkness, you know where I've got that pencil, but just needs a little bit more of a lift. Same in there. Okay, might even bring a touch of that white just on those bottom ones. So it's got a little bit of a, see, like a little hint. Okay, so last thing to do then, bit of a signature, a little bit different today. I'm going to sign it here. I usually do it on the left, but there today. So there it is. There's our little ladybird. Come a little bit of a design feature. There you go. So whether you want to do this, whether you want to simplify it, make it trickier, leave the legs off, do something different, it's entirely up to you. But this one's wishing you all the luck and love in the world. So have a lovely afternoon, what's left of it. Stay warm and safe. Go and get another cup of tea. And I'm looking forward to seeing the pictures you do. But please, please, if you have done any of the Advent PCs, then post pictures so we can all have a look at where we were at and guess what we're perhaps going to be drawing this time. So have fun, everybody. The countdown for that has begun, and I will catch you again on Friday at 2 o'clock. Okay, take care, everybody. Bye.